Tempoross is a mini-game style boss that is fought using skills rather than combat. Also known as the Spirit of the Seed, the player can learn how to do heavy dodges off his mismatches.
11 out of 23. That's how many skill capes I have right now after getting level 99 in both Hunter and Slayer in the last video. And at the end of that video, I said that the next one would be a classic RuneScape skill, and that skill is fishing. I feel like this is going to be a bit of a test for myself, because it's the first 99 that I'm going for that isn't an easy 99, and also doesn't really get me much by itself in terms of rewards. This is really just a big step on the way to maxing the account, so I feel like if I can get this one done, I'm going to feel pretty confident in myself going for max. Now, there are a few different methods that you can do for fishing training, and they all vary in intensity and XP rates. But I think the one that I'm going to focus on is Tempoross, and that's for a few reasons. First, it's something I've been wanting to really do for a while now, since I've never really had the chance. Tempoross released just before I created this account, and I never really got around to trying it out, so now I can finally see what this 3-year-old content is all about. Secondly, the rewards from Tempoross will actually be pretty nice to have for the maxing grind. Tempoross gives you a ton of raw noted fish as rewards, and I'm going to use those to knock out a big part of 99 cooking. There's also the chance of getting a few different unique rewards, which would be pretty neat. But the main reason I decided to do 99 fishing at Tempoross is that I think it's just going to be more enjoyable. My brain works really well with training methods that have that sort of minigame style. It's a lot easier for me to convince myself to go back into a minigame for another round than it is to commit to like the equivalent amount of time on a continuous training method. It's also a bit less monotonous than just clicking on a fishing spot at the Barbarian fishing pond and just waiting for my inventory to fill up, though I may end up doing some fishing there if I want to do some more like AFK training sometimes. So let's talk about Tempoross a bit. This is a skilling boss that's very much modeled after Wintertot, which was Jagex's first real attempt at doing a quote-unquote boss as a skilling activity, though ironically, compared to Wintertot, Tempoross is a lot more chill.
The funny parade! It's the funny parade!
You don't actually take damage when fighting the Tempoross, so I'm actually able to deathbank for this. It's effectively a safe activity, and that's important because I'm going to need a lot of inventory space to do this optimally. The fight works very similarly to Wintertot in that you are gathering resources and processing them to quote-unquote damage the boss. Although instead of chopping logs and burning them in the Wintertot fight, you're fishing up harpoon fish and loading them into these fish cannons to fire at the boss. So here's how it works. The boss has a shield bar and a health bar. You get the shield bar down to 0 by firing fish at it, and then you stab the whirlpool in the center to damage its health bar. When the health bar gets to 0, you win. There's also a third bar for storm intensity, and if that one reaches 100%, you lose the round and you don't get any rewards, but that's very unlikely to ever happen. And that's basically it. There's a few other mechanics that add some complexity, like how you can cook the fish before firing them to get more points, kind of like fletching the logs at Wintertot. And sometimes the boss will do special attacks like starting a tidal wave where you have to tie yourself to one of these poles, or it'll start like a lightning storm that'll spawn some fires you need to put out. There's also these special fishing spots that spawn at different locations and they give extra fish. So a lot of the strategy, it revolves around choosing when to fish and when to cook so that you can take advantage of these spots as much as possible. And there we go, that is the first round done. I'm just starting off with some mass Tempoross to get a feel for how this works, and then later on I'll be trying out some of the solo methods, which I think will get me some better rates. I got 2 reward permits for this round. The rewards are actually a lot more UIM friendly than in Wintertot, since it's not a reward crate in the inventory, it's just these points on your account. So you can stack them up and use them all at once whenever you want. I think my first goal here is going to be to get the combat achievements for Tempoross. They should all be really easy, and I already have the one for winning a round while wearing the Angler's outfit and repairing the totem pole for the first time. Here's the CA for putting out 5 fires in 1 round, and here's the CA for loading all 4 cannons in 1 round. There's 5 KC, that's a CA, and 10 KC, I believe that's the last CA I can get without it being a solo run. Okay, I think I'm going to try and do a solo now. We'll see how this goes. The guide I'm using uses an Infernal Harpoon and the wearable hammer, but I think I should be fine with what I have. Okay, cool, that went pretty smoothly, and I also got the CA for completing a solo without getting hit by any specials. And there we go, that's the last one for getting 10 permits in one solo. That's all the Tempoross CA's done, and I'm going to be doing solos from here on out. They give roughly the same XP per hour, but they give way more permits per hour. This method is actually a lot more simple than I thought it was going to be. It revolves around keeping the boss at a really low shield level to reduce the amount of attacks from the boss, kind of like how the solo Wintertot method works, but unlike Wintertot, Tempoross never really regains health when you're not doing anything, so everything is much less precise and there's a lot more room for error. Like right here, I dumped just enough fish into the cannons to get the boss down to 4% shield, which means I can't do any specials, and it's not going to regain that shield at all until the next phase, so I am entirely safe until then. And at this point, I can just get enough fish so that when it rolls over to the next round, it'll get it right back down to 4% again. So from this point on, I won't get any specials for the entire rest of the fight. That gives me a lot of time to fish and cook a ton of fish, which means more points, which also means more rewards. This method takes about 10 minutes to complete a round and gives enough points for about like 9 or 10 permits per round. 94 fishing, that is the first level of the grind, just 5 more to go. Alright, I've been going at this for a while and I'm now at 500 reward permits. I think I'm going to run through this initial batch now. By far, the most common rewards from Tempoross are noted raw fish and spirit flakes. The fish are going to be useful for 99 cooking, and I'm going to be saving up the spirit flakes to recolor the angler outfit. This is mainly for the cosmetics, since the spirit angler set looks so much better than the normal angler, but there's also a small mechanical benefit in that it has a rope built in for tying yourself to the totem poles during the fight, so that frees up an inventory slot. I'm also going to need 4,800 spirit flakes to buy the full recolor, which I should be able to get with 500 permits. There are also other uniques you can get from the reward pool. The one I'm most interested in is unfortunately the rarest, which is the Dragon Harpoon at 1 in 8,000. If I end up getting lucky on this, it'll give me a pretty good XP boost at Tempoross or any other harpoon fishing I decide to do. I actually used to have one of these really early on in the account, but I got it from Worms during some early Slayer, and I ended up losing it in a wipe a long time ago, so it'd be pretty cool to get it back, but I'm not exactly holding my breath. It's basically the same rarity as the pet. There's also the fish barrel at 1 in 400, which lets you hold more raw fish in your inventory while fishing. I don't think that's useful to me at all as a UIM. There's a tackle box at 1 in 400, which stores a bunch of different fishing tools, but kind of like the hunter's kit from Rumors, you can't store it, so it's not very useful either. There's the big harpoon fish at 1 in 1600, which is purely cosmetic, and the Tome of Water also at 1600, which powers up water spells using soaked pages, kind of like how the Tome of Fire works with burnt pages. So yeah, really the only thing I'm looking for here besides the fish and spirit flakes is the rarest one, the Dragon Harpoon. Alright, so here's 500 rolls of the Tempoross. There's the first unique, the tackle box. Cool. And there's the fish barrel. Cool, I got the 1 in 400. They're both 1 in 400. I got the two 1 in 400s. Oh, that's 25 soaked pages. So you can normally get soaked pages at like 5 to 9 of them at a time, and it's like 1 in 50. But if you get the 25 drop, that means you got a duplicate unique, either the tackle box or the fish barrel. So I just got a duplicate of those. And there's another 25 soaked pages. Oh my god, I'm just rolling in the entirely unneeded uniques. Hey, Tome of Water. Cool, that's one of the rarer ones. That's at 1 in 1600. So I'll think about whether I want to keep that for anything at all. I don't imagine I will. I already have a Kodai, which is basically like having a Tome of Water anyway, so, you know. Oh, big harpoon fish. 1 in 1600, that's the other 1 in 1600. So I've gotten everything except the two 1 in 8,000 drops. Oh, I missed this earlier, but that's also over 4,800 spirit flakes. So I will be getting that spirit angler set. And that is it. Out of rewards, Pretty good haul though. I'm really happy with this actually. I also did the math for the bagged cooking XP that this gets me, and it looks like it's about 38% of the way from where I'm at now to 99, so I should be able to do like 800 more permits and that'll get me 99 cooking bagged. And here's what I was saving up those spirit flakes for, the spirit angler outfit. So not only does it look better, but now I no longer need to bring a rope into Tempoross, which is the nichest possible benefit, but it is something. Alright, I think from now on I'm going to start opening the permits 100 at a time, since if I do get a harpoon, it'd be helpful to get it earlier instead of when I'm already done with Tempoross. I am going to be doing the full 800 more permits to get 99 cooking bagged, but I'll just be doing them in chunks now. Alright, first new batch of 100 permits. Well, I got another dupe tackle box, but besides that, not too much interesting stuff. I am going to be saving up the spirit flakes I get from these openings, since you can use 3,000 on the heron pet to unlock a transmog for it, so I might as well do that. Next batch, here we go. Alright, no uniques that time, but we are getting closer to the pet transmog and 99 cooking bagged, which is the main thing. Third batch of rewards, let's do it. Well, that's a couple dupes, and I got to the 3k mark in spirit flakes, but no harpoon or pet. Alright, so with the heron pet, if I drop that, have it following me, and use 3,000 spirit flakes on it, it turns blue. And then what I can do, let's see, does this let me, no, okay, I have to use either a raw fish to turn it into the normal transmog, or a spirit flake to turn it into the blue transmog, and I can go back and forth just using one thing on it to do that. So, yeah, pretty cool. That's basically an unlock, and from now on I don't really need to be carrying spirit flakes on me anymore. I don't really have a use for them. And there is 95 fishing, just 4 more levels to go. And now, the next 8 hours of my life.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it!
And that is it. I now have enough fish in my looting bag for 99 cooking, and with that, I think I'm going to take a bit of a detour. Here's the situation. UIM Bingo is once again approaching, and this time it's UIM Summer Splashdown 2024, and I've decided that I'm going to be a captain again this time, along with my friend Lemons. We're going to be the captains of the Bandos Randos. If you're not familiar with how UIM Bingo works, about a year ago I made a video all about the last time I was a captain, and everything our team got up to, so that video has a lot of the information about how the competition works, and just stuff about the competition itself. But in case you want the quick version, there's a bunch of tiles. Your team unlocks tiles by gaining XP, killing bosses, and completing other objectives, and you want to do as much of that as possible throughout the 10 days of the competition. So needless to say, I'm going to need to be gaming pretty hard once Bingo starts. It'll also help to have a lot of bagged XP that I can blow through during the competition to make some easy progress towards some tiles. I'm planning on going all the way to 99 cooking during Bingo, and I think I'm also going to try and get another easy 99 there, which is fletching. Fletching is one skill that I've been kind of ready for since I got this big cash stack from going through all my pure essence in the last video, since it's one of the few skills that's truly buyable on a UIM. The method is just to make broad arrows, but to maximize the amount of XP I get during the Bingo itself, I want to get all my headless arrows beforehand, so I can just attach the arrowheads during the Bingo for the best XP rates. So between now and the start of Bingo, I want to make about 580,000 headless arrows and also buy that many broad arrowheads. The first step here is going to be the roughest, since I have to get all the arrow shafts ready. That said, I've actually been saving up a stack of noted U logs for my various grinds at the giant mole, so I don't need to actually buy the arrow shafts, which would have been really bad. I can just make them from the logs. Each log gives 75 arrow shafts, so I actually have way more logs than I actually need, so the rest are going to get dropped to the main, and that'll be an inventory slot freed up. That said, this is going to take a while. There we go, that took a few hours, but I now have 580,000 arrow shafts ready to go. Next up is buying the feathers. This one was a lot quicker. You can just buy feather packs and open them. 580k arrow shafts and 580k feathers. Time to make these headless arrows. Something that's really nice about fletching is the fact that you can zero time it while doing something else. I think the most obvious thing that I could be doing along with this is pest control, since I can get some free prayer XP along with my fletching XP, but I'm not sure exactly how much it slows me down when I have to be keeping my pest control contribution up, so I think I'm going to do a bit of zero timing it with pest control and a bit of just non-stop fletching and see what the difference is between the two rates. Okay, the experiment is done, and it looks like I can make about 40k headless arrows per hour while doing nothing else, and that amount goes down to like 20 to 25k headless arrows when I have to also be doing pest control. So if I were to make my entire stack of headless arrows, it would take about 15 hours without pest control, and 25 or 30 hours with pest control. So I think I'm going to go ahead and zero time it. I feel pretty comfortable putting in 30 hours before the bingo starts, and it'll give me a ton of bonus prayer XP, which is going to be really valuable for the maxing grind. It's funny, the last time I did pest control was all the way back in episode 2 of this series when I was just trying to get to 91 fletching for the Desert Elite Diary, and things have actually changed a bit since then. First of all, my stats and gear are slightly better, which does matter here, since you get contribution by dealing damage, so the better my accuracy and damage, the less time I have to spend hitting the enemies and the more time I can fletch. And secondly, and more importantly, the amount of prayer XP I get from pest control has increased dramatically because I have the hard tier of the combat achievements completed now. Previously, I would have gotten 5 points per completed game, which equates to like 1.4k prayer XP, but now I get 8 points per game or 2.2k prayer XP. And yes, these are very small numbers, but that's an over 50% increase in prayer XP per hour, which does add up. I should be getting around like 53k prayer XP per hour doing this method, and that is entirely bonus, because the main reason I was doing this was for the fletching XP. Okay, I'm actually getting pretty close to the end of the headless arrows, and I've actually hit the cap for points here. You can only hold 4,000 at a time, and in case you're wondering what's the scale of all this, 4,000 points is enough to get a full Elite Void set with all 3 helmets almost 2.5 times over. So I'm going to be dumping all this into prayer, and we'll see how much that gets me. Okay, that gets me 1.1 million prayer XP and also got me up to 93 prayer, just like that. Though obviously it wasn't, just like that since it took about 20-ish hours of pest control. Alright, this is the only level I'm going to get while I'm making the headless arrows, that is 93 fletching. And there it is, all my arrow shafts have been made into headless arrows. I'm actually going to go ahead and spend the extra points I got from that last bit now, because I'm going to be doing a lot of pest control during UIM bingo, and you can't bring points into the competition, so I need to be zeroed out when that starts. Oh cool, that got me to 94 prayer too. I'll be getting a lot more prayer XP when I attach the arrowheads during bingo as well. Hello, it has been a bit since the last clip. I've been spending some time prepping for bingo, and I'm actually pretty happy with how my inventory is looking heading into the competition. I have 1 clue of every type in my death bank, and also a master clue stored at Watson. This is the most that you can prep for bingo now in terms of clues, since Jagex put in a recent change into the game that lets you store clues on the ground for an hour, which means juggled clues are more or less infinitely stackable, so we can't bring them into the bingo now. And this master clue in my death bank is also at 5 steps completed, which means as soon as the competition begins, I can just do the remaining 1 to 3 steps on this one, and then get the one from Watson and do that, and then turn in my other clues to Watson and do another. So best case scenario, I can lead off the bingo with 3 master clue completions, which would be really big for the clues tile. I've also done some sacred eel fishing to fill up my serp helm and blowpipe with Zulrah scales, and then I went on to do some regular fishing at the Barbarian Pond, which got me to 97 fishing. I know I've been prepping a ton of cooking and fletching for bingo, but once I get those 2 99s, I will be getting back to fishing. And I guess I should mention this too, when I've been doing my fishing at the Barbarian Pond, I've specifically been trying to do 3 tick fishing when I can. I haven't talked too much about tick manipulation in these videos, mainly because I haven't been doing it much, but here's the quick version of what that means. When you do a skilling action, it starts a timer that ticks down until the action is completed. So for example, if I'm fishing here at the Barbarian Pond, it ticks down for 5 ticks, and then it rolls to decide whether you caught a fish or not. Different skilling actions take different amounts of time to complete. So for example, if I use a knife on a log to make a crossbow stock, it only takes 3 ticks. The trick here is that the game lets you change what action you're doing without resetting that timer. So if I start making a crossbow stock, it starts that 3-tick timer, and then if I click the fishing spot while that's happening, it'll switch my action, but I'll still only have 1 or 2 ticks left on the timer instead of 5 like you would normally get from fishing. This means I'm effectively rolling for a fish every 3 ticks instead of every 5, which increases my fish per hour by 67%, which means my XP per hour goes up by that amount as well. I also add an extra technique into this by dropping the fish in between the 2 actions, and that makes it so that my inventory doesn't fill up with fish and I can just do this indefinitely. I have the fish set to left click drop, so it's real easy to do. I just click the log, then the knife, then the fish, and then the fishing spot, and as long as I stay in this rhythm, I can get over 100k fishing XP per hour doing this. It's also kind of like a chill method as far as tick manipulation goes, because if I ever need to go AFK or take a break, I can just do that and then get back into the 3 tick cycle instantly whenever I want to. There's no like setup required. Okay, and that is 98 fishing. It's becoming apparent to me that I could actually get 99 fishing before the bingo starts, so I've been like kind of going hard here at the pond. I think I'm gonna aim for that. So once I'm done with cooking and fletching, I can just move on to things that are more needed on the team instead of going back to fishing. All right, here we are. It is 4 days from the bingo, and I'm about to get 99 fishing. That is the 12th 99 on the account, which means I officially have over half the skills to 99, which is pretty neat. The fishing cape has one benefit, which is that it has infinite teleports to the fishing guild, but that's not really useful since I already have infinite teleports there from the jewelry box in the POH. It's still pretty cool that I was able to get this done before bingo started though. Alright, it is showtime. The event has started, and I've decided that I'm going to get my cooking out of the way before I do those master clues, since it'll get 5 slots freed up in the looting bag, which could be useful for those clues. This is the method, by the way. It's pretty simple. The Rogue's Den has a tile here that's adjacent to both a fire and a bank NPC, so I can unnote the fish and cook them without moving at all. And even better, there is also a shop NPC in the area, so I'm keeping him here with an alt by talking to him on this tile, which keeps him locked in one place. So instead of having to drop every inventory of fish, I can just sell the inventory to the shop and immediately unnote another inventory. I should be able to cook over 1,400 fish per hour using this method, which means it's still going to take a while to go through all these noted fish, but that said, I actually think I won't need to go through all of them since I actually got a decent amount of cooking XP in from when I was fishing sacred eels. I didn't think about that when I was doing Tempoross for these, but it's helping here. There is 98 cooking, one more to go. Alright, it is just about time.
I would be there, but Aka. I guess you could say I can't. This is the fucking dumbest joke I've ever made. I'm sorry, I'm tired.
The cooking cape has one main benefit, which is that while you're wearing it, you have a 100% chance to successfully cook food, which is pretty neat. You can also wear it to get into the Cook's Guild without needing a chef's hat, but that one doesn't really matter as much because you can just already use the Varrock Diary armor for that. Alright, now that that's out of the way, and I have a lot more inventory space ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and get started on these master clues. Like I said, this first one is at 5 steps completed, so I have a hot and cold step for the 6th one, so that should be completable too. Okay, this should be a guaranteed casket now since it's step 8. Awesome. Okay, nothing for the collection log there, but that is a lot of points towards the clue tile. I'm actually going to get both of these other clues and start juggling them now since the event has started and I'm allowed to juggle again, and that'll make it more likely that I can get at least one of them done.
Alright, here goes nothing. I don't have a spade. Fuck me, man.
No way. Dude, I was like, your inventory looks so clean for some reason. I couldn't figure out why, so I was like, whatever. You've seen people with like 7 minutes.
Oh my god.
HP.
It's casket.
Master clue number 2 at the comp. Yo, that's Clog, I think. Let me just double check.
Greater Demon Mask.
Oh, no, it's not. God damn it. Okay, well, it's Clog from me.
It looks cool as hell, too.
Yeah. Okay, so bad news. I forgot to save the recording, but I ended up getting the 3rd casket, so that is 3 caskets and 3 clues, which is great. I got Inku gloves from that one, which isn't collection log for the team, but it's collection log for me. I'm getting ready for fletching now, which is going to end up being most of the rest of the event for me, I think. I already got the broad arrowheads, which cost about 33.5 mil, so if you're wondering why my cash stack is suddenly so much lower, that's why. 94 fletching, the first of many. My goal is to get this done as quickly as possible so that I can spend whatever time I have left doing whatever else the team needs. 95 fletching, I feel like I'm finally enjoying the fruits of my labor after making all those headless arrows earlier, since this is 10 times the XP now. I'm getting about like 200k XP per hour if I'm in the groove of it. And this will actually be another level coming in, 95 prayer. I'm turning in my points every time I get to 1,000 now, just so I can keep my team's bingo board up to date. 96 fletching, still going very quickly. 97 fletching, and I am now over halfway done with the broad arrows, and we're on the home stretch here. 98 fletching, one more to go, and there we go, 99 fletching. That is the 14th 99 on the UIM. I'm going to keep going here at Pest Control until I get a multiple of 100 points, and then I'll drop the rest of the points and see where that gets me for prayer. Cool, I did end up getting a prayer level from that, 96 prayer. I may come back here later when I'm going for 99 prayer, I'm not 100% sure yet. The Fletching Cape has probably the most obscure benefit out of all the skill capes. It has a right-click search option, which gives you a bronze crossbow and mithril grapple, which may not sound like anything important, but it's actually really useful for things like... I also wanted to show this real quick, the contributions tab on the bingo spreadsheet, because it turns out doing pest control is actually really good for bingo points. They try and balance the tiles around the most efficient method of doing the content, and pest control is really easy to do efficiently, since the games take generally the same amount of time no matter how focused you are. So I'm getting the same bingo points per hour from chilling at pest control as I would be if I were doing, say, like 3 tick 4 granite or another like really sweaty method like that. And not only that, since I'm 0 timing it with fletching, I'm getting even more points. I'm getting like a third of the efficient fletching rate, so I'm getting like a combined rate of something like 1.3 times the efficient rate. So as you can see, not only am I number 1 in the entire competition for miscellaneous tiles, which is coming from the pest control points mainly, I'm also currently in the top 10 for overall performance as well. Now obviously this is going to drop like a rock now that, I'm done with pest control, but I wanted to show it off while I can. So what now? I actually really messed up the planning for this, because I thought the fletching was going to take way longer than it actually did. I was thinking I would take like most of the competition to do this, but we're not even 3 days in yet, and I'm done. So I think I have a plan for what to do now. I've already gotten 3 99s in this video, but I'm realizing now that there's another one that I could just like grind out now that I have some more time, and that is farming. Now, farming is inherently a passive skill, and I know it would be generally more efficient to just passively get 99 on the way to maxing, but I don't really want to have that in the back of my mind for the rest of the maxing process if I could instead just grind it out actively. So I'm going to be going from 98 to 99 farming at the one active farming method in the game, Tithe Farm. Tithe Farm is such a weird method because people basically never do it for the XP because you always train this skill passively, but the XP is actually what I'm specifically going for now. I think I'm just going to do the like quote-unquote chill 20 times 5 method since it shouldn't take too long. Here's how Tithe Farm works, by the way. You get these seeds which you can plant in these farming patches, and you have to water them a few times while they grow, and then you harvest the fruits. You dump the fruits into the sack here and get a ton of XP and tithe points. It's really simple, but the complexity comes with how many plants you try and juggle at one time. I'm doing the 20 times 5 method, which means I'm doing 20 plants at a time, and I have to do 5 rounds of that to get to my 100 fruits to deposit for XP. That is the normal method, but there are other methods that try and juggle more at a time for more XP per hour. Okay, it has been a bit, about like 10 hours-ish, but here is 99 farming, the 15th 99 on the UIM, and the 4th one in this video. The Farming Capes perk is actually really good because it makes herb seeds give you more herbs, which means I'll actually be able to get 99 herb lore bagged a bit sooner than I thought. It gives you unlimited teleports to the farming guild as well, but that doesn't really matter as much because I already have that teleport in the POH. I guess I should give a bit of an update here. We are currently about halfway through the competition, and I'm actually really happy with how things are going right now. We're currently in 4th place, but we have a lot of room to climb. I think the next few clips you're going to see are just random things I get up to during bingo, since I'm not really trying to go for any more 99s for the rest of the competition. Ooh, jar.
Oh, congrats.
Yo. Got the jar of piss.
For the bingo?
Awesome.
Sick. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, piss jar, let's go.
Is that the smoke devil pet as well? Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. So that's.
Oh wait, that yeah, that's green log. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's green
Nice.
logged. Awesome.
187 KC.
Well, sometimes you work hard.
Funny.
Any
you're
lucky
doing great.
TDs, by the way?
With what TDs? What's a TD?
TD's not.
And that is a second jar of smoke. Huh. Okay, great news. I managed to get a Hydra task, which is going to get a ton of points on the Slayer boss tile. And not only that, this is my first time being able to fight the Hydra with my new T-bow, and I think I'm going to have some fun with it. Oh yeah, this is another little benefit I didn't have before. I have the agility level for this shortcut now. It saves a little bit of time, and it also makes it so I don't have to run past the regular Hydras on the way here, which is nice. Plus, if I die, it is now a risk-free trip back to the death bank. Previously, you could theoretically DC in the middle of the Hydras, and that would not be good. The two things I'm looking for right now are the speed tasks for Hydra, the 145 Master task and the 120 GM task. Oh, well, there's the Master Speed task that was basically free with the T-bow. I think the Grandmaster time is also going to be basically free. I just got to keep doing this until I get pretty lucky with my damage RNG.
Oh my god. No way.
Okay, well, that's the end of the task. I didn't end up getting the GM time, but I think it's going to be more or less free in the future, especially considering I got a time that is literally 1 tick off, and that's without even using thralls or anything, so I can probably just send a task or two with those just to, like, lock it in sometime later.
I think I'm witnessing either a maxing party or a drug deal. Also, they just said, they just typed in chat, Derek, fuck him up. And now they're whacking me with the stale baguette and the fish.
I think you're getting jumped into a gang.
92 smithing.
Great.
Easy.
That's base 92s. Did you know that that's base halfway to 99s?
Oh my god. Make a YouTube clip? You should explain why the math as well works that way.
You see, a lot of people don't know this, but I can also add in a bit about 97 to 98 being the worst level.
True and so base.
So good news, I've been at the Giants Foundry for a while, working on the mining and smithing tile, and I've actually gotten just enough points here to buy the smith's outfit. Now, I had originally thought that this was just going to be like a really niche thing to have stored in the POH, since its main benefit is that it speeds up the process of smithing items on an anvil, but it turns out it has a couple other benefits that'll end up being pretty nice for me. The first is that I can use the ice gloves on the smith's gloves to get the ice glove effect on them, which actually means I now have a form of storable ice gloves, which I've never had before. Now I never need to like go all the way to the Ice Queen to get the ice gloves again. I can just get these from the POH. The other benefit is that it actually helps in the Giants Foundry minigame because it increases the speed of the progress bar. So this should increase the XP per hour at least a bit here.
I have no way of seeing what you got anyway, so good.
Yeah, I don't either. I felt.
Oh, okay. I guess door. I can't check my log. It's the thing.
So this takes away from the extra thing though. We don't need an extra raid anymore with that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we don't need another person. All right. Let's see
anyway.
what it is. Oh, I need claws too. Dex money. How much money?
Money.
15 mil.
I assume we're FFA because none of us discussed it for prior.
I mean, I can throw you guys a few mil.
Support somebody, I'll do that for you.
Oh shit, Key, you got an ogre, or you got a troll.
I don't want to play games.
Do you like hitting things?
I do like hitting things. I'm gonna go back to mole actually.
No!
I am simply telling people so they don't click it and be like, holy shit, I gotta move immediately. It's like, you just move, you don't
Nobody
have to freak
listen.
out.
No, that's not my captain. That is not my captain.
The sick brain's getting to her.
Well, that is how it ended. I know those last few clips are totally disjointed, but it was really all over the place in the back half of the competition, so I wasn't able to plan much of a coherent sequence of clips. The Bandos Randos ended up getting 4th in the event with 2,562 points, just barely behind 3rd place. For my own performance, this is easily the best I've ever done in UIM Bingo with about 125 points, putting me in the top 20 players of the competition for the first time ever. I played about 135 hours across 10 days, gained 16.7 million XP, gained 66.8 combined EHP and EHB, and got about 100 efficient hours worth of tile points. So needless to say, I'm pretty exhausted, and I'm going to be even more exhausted once I finish editing this video, so I think in the next one, I'm going to be taking a break with one of the most AFKable 99s in the game, and I will see you then.